welcome back to Dave at Littleton. So today I'm doing a review of two new coaches I picked up, and these are the Hornby R4625, the Mark 1 brake Parcels brake coach, and the Hornby R426 Hornby R4627, the Mark 1 second open. And I've also got with me a coach for comparison, one that I bought some years ago, a similar LMS one. I'll get the model number for that later. So these are a British Rail standard coaches. So we've got second open here, and then this one is the Parcels brake. So I've got these two together as a nice little set to go with this locomotive here. Now it should be noted that this engine is era 4 and the coaches are era 5, but having done a bit of research, I found out that the standard coaches came into being about a year or two before the changeover in logo. So fortunately I'm kind of going with the premise that this one is quite old and dirty, has got to the end of the the mid 1950s, just before the logo changeover, and these coaches are brand new off the production line, so to speak. So I'll go over a bit of the detail, go over the coaches, what they're like, what my initial thoughts are, and do a comparison with an older model that I purchased a few years ago at the same price. Okay, so firstly, we have the standard second open. It's okay. So this is the Hornby Railroad range, so it's cheaper, it's less detailed than some of the other stuff that I might purchase. But given that the locomotive they're paired with is not a high detailed locomotive, I kind of like the coaches and the wagons to match the level of detail that the locomotive is with. So inside you can see that there are seats, there are tables, all the standard sort of things. Because these are newer, the print is kind of is very fine. I do like that kind of like makes up for the fact that although it doesn't have a load of separately fitted details like the pipe work and the handles and everything, although they're not separate, they're nicely picked out. I think over the years printing's come on a lot, and the printing makes up for a lot of the difference in the level of detail. It doesn't have things like sprung buffers or anything like that. I've noticed a couple of issues. So coupling, the coaches do have knuckle couplings underneath the doors there, and I found that when connecting them, the hook on the connecting loco might hit the knuckle and prevent it from coupling, so that's something to be aware of. Also noticed that for some reason it's an issue on the second open but not the Parcels, that the wheels seem to be a bit close to the chassis. There's a bit of a grinding noise, a bit of a noise going on there. So yeah, not super amazed with that, but when the train is running it's kind of like drowned out a bit anyway, so not really much of an issue, but it does sort of like slow the carriage down a little bit. The Parcels coach, very similar in terms of detail. It's got the fine print in there, the handles picked out. Inside, not a lot of way of interior decoration. Obviously it was for Parcels, so it's just empty apart from a small room for a guard to sit in. That is in there. That's kind of nice. I like that. One thing I don't like so much is visible through the windows, and it's a bit hard to show in this light, is a little round circle where you can see the clip holding the bogie on. So what I'll probably do is get some I'll open that carriage up, get some Parcels or something, some of the station decorations, and put some of those on the platform, and also some inside the coach covering up those holes, just to make it a bit nicer Other features include like the blanked out windows where the toilets would be, which is, you know, looks nice and realistic. The molded detail on the bogies and the chassis seems kind of good. Yeah, it all seems fairly fine. I do like it. So these were both £28. I bought them from Dean Forest Railway. A bit more expensive than I'd like to pay, but you know, I also like supporting heritage lines as well, so I thought it was worth the extra money. So my comparison coach, there we go, lovely smooth transition there. So this is the Hornby R4448A. This is in XLMS, so not a standard coach, this is XLMS, but obviously the standard coaches were largely based on the LMS coaches. So this is the third passenger coach, compartmentalized. So compared to the second open that I've got in the background there now, you do have inside picked out you know, you have the seats and the individual compartments and everything, so they're there nicely. You do have separately fitted detail like the pipe work and the handles added on. The print is I'd say is about the same. I wouldn't say there's much difference in the print detail. That's kind of like what makes the cheaper versions okay for me, is the fact that it's the same printing, so it's, you know, it's nice and fine and detailed. Obviously there's extra bits where you've got the print on the end of the coach and some extra detail which you don't have on the cheaper wagons. And I love this sprung buffers, absolutely love that on these coaches. They're both NEM couplings as well, which is good. Another difference, the railroad ones have plastic wheels. The this high detailed one has metal wheels as well. So as well as the extra detail and a couple, you know, some finer print in a few areas, you know, like under there. You know, that's very nice. Don't get that on the cheaper versions. So this is like, the quality difference is obvious between the two. And then you've got the in the box bits to change the ends to connect them up with, I think, if I haven't lost them, that is. So the bit that annoys me is that they're the same price, or at least they were. This one, when I bought this with the City of Bristol a few years back, this was £28 also. So it's a shame that, like, over time what was the cheaper one is now the same price as the more expensive one. You know, but like I said, you know, I don't mind paying it, supporting the local railway. Not local railway, heritage railway, helping keep those going, which is very nice. But it's still worth bearing in mind the comparison, because if you're looking at it, maybe like me, you're not fussed. You know what? For me, it depends. I've paired these higher detailed coaches with a higher detailed model, so they go nicely together. I got the super detailed City of Bristol, so those coaches I bought to go with that, to make the Royal Scot, and they go very nicely with it. And then again, this loco, like I said, this loco is not amazingly detailed, and so those coaches are on par with it and don't look out of place with it. And for example, I've got an older Duchess class, and I will be pairing that with, when I can get them, some ex-LMS coaches made in around the same time, so from the 1990s and 1980s, because I think putting super detailed coaches with a train with an engine that doesn't even have glass in the windows will look a bit off, to be honest. But yeah, so that's my quick review of it. In summation, you know, it's okay price wise. You know, prices have gone up, but price is all right, I suppose. I do prefer to buy second hand, but but they're nice and new and shiny, and yep, I like that. And they're reasonably detailed. The print is what makes it up for me. I don't mind paying the price because the print makes them look more detailed than they are. And the fact that, you know, I'll open them up, get them open up and do the interiors on them as well. Although I won't open that one up because I'll be afraid of damaging all the pipe work and everything. And there we go. Okay, hope you found that useful, and I will look forward to having those running around on my layout.